Tonight, you will learn what live action roleplay is about. First, I'm going to take some of this costuming off so you guys can hear me better because I'm sure you probably can't hear me very well over this. So give me 1 second to get the hood. The gorget. Whew, and the mask off. That's just a little of the steamed up my glasses having that on. So I'm going to go through some stuff, and I'm a little bit of a disaster now. It's still scary, eh? Okay. I'm going to fix the background because that's driving me crazy. Yeah, background. Back to normal. Well, this is part of my costume as my character. I sometimes wear the mask, sometimes don't, because I'll tell you about armor point stuff in a few minutes. But this is a mask. This is a gorget that protects my throat. I wear usually two bracers. However, I have to revamp these because now they require you either to have your fingers covered or the palm covered. So I was taking them apart to revamp them, and I decided to just remake them. So I only have one that's in one piece. And then I have my cuirass that has what's called pauldrons that protect up here. So I wear my bracers here. I'll show you, I wear a kilt that has what's called tassets on it. That protects my upper leg. And then I wear greaves to protect my lower leg and leather boots. So when I get everything done, then I will do a picture and post it of what the whole thing looks like. I'm going to go quickly over the chat here, and then I'm going to get into the thing, and then I can answer any questions. I got JJ. Hello, JJ. Hello, Georgianne. Welcome, Roy and Becky. Mike Raid, that was quite the thing. Hello, Linda Barker. Hello, Nate Dog. Hey, Busby. Hey, Lillian, I'll talk to you later. We got Traveling Adventures of Mike. We got Steve. What else we got in here? Some other names. Some other names. We got Danny D. We got Bree. We have Van Life Rocks. Welcome, Ray. We got TGIF. Yeah, I did that. I'm saying hello to everybody else. Looks fun. Did I make the outfit? Yes, I've pretty much designed a lot of it. I wear studded leather, so you can see the little silver rivets within. They're less than 2 inches apart. So I wear studded leather. The leather has to be 5 to 6 mil thick. So my cuirass is a leather coat I used to have. I used part of it and then layered it with another layer, and then all my other stuff is made from leathers that's about that thick. So I kind of designed it myself. And then I'll explain my whole costume in a minute. You need that outfit. Protect your body well, yeah, because I'll get into what armor and stuff is. I'll show you some video too. Actually, maybe I'll show you the video first, and then you can see what different characters and races and classes and different armor that people wear. So I'm going to share the screen. Get this up here. Not yet, not yet. Share. Trying to get this full screen. Here we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We'll try that again. Give me 1 second. Try that again. Find it again. Oh, it's in this file. Can you pause 1 moment? There we go. Now if I hit play, maybe. 1 second. Technical difficulties. More options. Full screen. So that was a little bit of everything all together. Do a couple more things here, and then how long have I done this? I've been doing it since 2014. They started a chapter close, or a guild close to us, and I'll talk about that. LARP is a role-playing game. Now, if you've ever seen this movie, Role Models, it's got a little bit of the LARP idea, and they called it lair or something like that in it. But it's got a little bit, but it's a little, this is a little off the wall. Ours is, I'll address that. What's up, everybody? Thanks, Busby, for addressing that. Actually knew that. Pretty elaborate costumes, yep. How do you know whose side you're on? Usually by the costuming of our, what we call NPC or non-player characters is usually, other than, you see my oldest in the, what they call the Ribbajack costume with the big furry thing with the red eyes. A lot of the NPCs aren't quite that elaborate. A lot of them are painted up or have like tabards on. Okay. So, I'll go through the thing. I'll show you some stuff. And we've got time at the end for some questions. So I'm associated, there's many different kinds of LARPs. There is apocalyptic LARP. There's all kinds of different LARPs. We're part of a LARP organization called Underworld LARP. And I'm just going to show you a couple pictures. If I can get this to share screen. I can get the... we'll cancel that. Let's see if I can get the pictures up first. Come on. So this is Edward Watt, or otherwise known as Ted. And this is David Ashby. Those are two important parts of Underworld LARP. So I'll come to that. So Underworld LARP now is over 2,000 plus members. There's over 3,000 plus characters because you can have up to 2 or 3 characters in the database. I have 2. My third one has been retired for reasons. Underworld LARP has been active for over 20 years, and there's been over 500 plus events held. There are 10 guilds in Underworld LARP. 8 of them are in Canada. There are 3 in Ontario. There's 2 in Alberta, 1 in Saskatchewan, 1 in Nova Scotia, 1 in Manitoba, Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan each have 1. Alberta has 2. Ontario has 3. Jericho is the first and oldest guild, and it's located outside of Toronto. There's Harrowvale, which is a revamp from the original Edmonton group. There's Rowlandwood, which was the 3rd guild formed, and that's near London, Ontario, and that's what one we are part of. There's Zenith Strand in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. There's Mournfall in Ottawa. There's Tempest Grove in Cape Breton. Then we have Haven Hollow in Japan. And that was actually started by a Canadian that's relocated to Japan. So, and they actually came and visited, I think it was in 2015, to our guild. So I got to meet Stephen Smith, and his son came over. There is one chapter in the U.S. It's called Dark Harbor, and it's in Florida, northeast of Gainesville. There's Umberflow in Calgary and Mist Haven in Winnipeg. Now, those pictures I showed, Jericho and Underworld Global is owned and operated by Dave Ashby and Edward Watt, or Ted. They started it all. They were there from the beginning, and I've got somebody in the basement here. Hello.
Good evening, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful. I wasn't finished texting hello, beautiful.
That's okay.
Still listening.
So Underworld is a horror, fantasy, medieval live role-playing system. It allows for broad character development. It offers the ultimate interactive story experience. It appeals to people who like video games, tabletop gaming like D&D. People like doing improv. You like the outdoors and camping and countless other hobbies that are kind of related to the medieval stuff. It's not for the faint of heart. This LARP is restricted to the age of 18 and older. Because it's kind of, it can be a little scary, a little gory, because we do use a lot of fake blood. You might have seen a couple pictures in there. We run 24/7. It starts at 10 p.m. on Friday night, and it runs till just after noon on Sundays. So it's 24/7. You're immersive.
Then I get to go pick up my clan sometimes.
Yeah. Her campground's not too far from there, so she's kidnapped me a couple times.
Shh! Don't tell anyone our secrets.
So we're under and some of the costuming can be a little, I would say, revealing. I didn't borrow the pictures of the chainmail that some costumes wear.
That's cool.
There was a picture of literally a girl has a chainmail bikini. It's lined though, but it's a chainmail bikini kind of thing. So things can get a little risque. Now, Underworld prides itself on a wide variety of plot. There's serious plot lines. There's hilarious adventures. There's some mystical adventures. There's some dark and gruesome, bloody adventures. Some of the most intensive experiences are because we have an incredible cast of characters, especially our NPCs. They help make that really immersive, and they deliver a real amazing storytelling experience. It's all up to your imagination. Basically, our plot team and the shapers, they write the beginning of the story. This is where you are. This is what happens. Blah blah blah. 3, 2, 1, lay on, and monsters are coming out of different places, or different things are happening. And so you see, if anybody that's watched my channel has seen some of the videos. Underworld also prides itself on its diversity and encourages a great time and an educational environment where people from all walks of life can interact and learn about each other. It's a great community. It's come together, and there's times of loss and adversity, whether it be the passing of a player, or we were hit by the thunderstorm, which was part of a derecho that hit the Ottawa Guild and devastated their campground, or in Nova Scotia, the area that they did theirs was vandalized, and people have pulled together and done GoFundMes and that, and was able to fix things up. There are many rules and policies in place out of game as well as in game, and if you were to want to look up stuff, you can go to underworldlarp.com, and I'll put that in the details, and you can learn about all the rules and stuff if you have some interest or just want to learn more about it. Like I said, the rules and policies are in place in game as well as out of game, and it's very specific as to what will and will not be tolerated. And believe me, if you don't toe the line, you can find yourself suspended or banned.
Yeah.
If you could be banned just from your own guild, or if you've done something really morally wrong, I'll just put it that way, you can be banned from the whole underworld organization.
Oh.
Michael, and there's some people that just came in. Hi, John and Nancy. Steve, say hi to John and Nancy.
Hi, John and Nancy from Steve.
See, there we go. He was waiting for Michael.
Elvis in there, and Brandon Jackson, welcome. It's good to see you all.
Bye, Belt Loop. Bye, Graham.
Now, in that video, you've probably seen all kinds of different characters. So there are many races to choose from. You can choose from like a Janti, which is like a gypsy type, avian. They're like a feathered tinkerer that I think was like on the lines of steampunk. If you watch some of my other videos early this season, there's a guy that's got green feathers all stuck to his face. That's an avian. Elves, there's numerous types of elves. There's high elves, which my two kids are. There's wild elves, there's dark elves, there's stone elves. There's Einherjar, which is like a Viking sort of clan. Kind of put Viking and Scottish kind of together, like having the clan and that. That is what my character is. She is a Viking. Hello, Troy S. As a Viking, or like as an Einherjar, I have to have two of three things. I have to wear a kilt, I have to have fur, or I have to wear a braid. Well, this is not going to do a braid, so I have fur on my pauldrons, and I wear a kilt.
Woo!
I usually wear leggings underneath because you don't. But now that I have bicycle shorts I had bought for the cruise before, for those hot days, I might just wear the bicycle shorts underneath.
Yeah.
There's a fawn, and if you've seen the video, with like it looks like the guy's got to go pee, he's dancing around. That's a fawn. There's gnomes, there's minotaurs, there's orcs, ogres, there's risen, which are an undead. There's dwarves. There's fae, which are like a fairy creature. There's kobold, which is the one that's all got the face painted red. Draconian, which is a dragon race, and goblins, and many more. And then from that, you go down into your classes. You got your rogues, your warriors, and your scholars. The rogues are your assassins, which is my character as an assassin. Your nightblade or witch hunter. The warrior, you have your mercenary, your ranger, and your templars. And then the scholars are the druids, mages, and bard. And if you've seen my oldest in some of the videos walking around with the guitar, and he's got like a green cloak and a beret on, that's a bard. And then you can choose other things like under vocation. You pick all your things here. Like you could be a humanoid, one of those, and then say you're my oldest friend is a ranger and also an archer. So he has specific types of arrows that are made, and I don't have any of those to show. You can be a battle mage, you can be a brewmaster. That was the orc in the video or the event, not last one, but the one before that had the one that it was his birthday, but he had his big setup with the bottles in the big case. He's a brewmaster.
Yes.
And then you can choose production skills like alchemy, blacksmithing. Blacksmithing's a good one to have because I'll tell you that in a second. Tradesman or trapper. Blacksmiths, when it comes down to my character, and I'll break this down, if I'm in battle and I get my armor damaged, the only one that can fix that is a blacksmith. So it's handy to have blacksmiths around.
Michael,
Yes.
in your chat, somebody asked, when was LARP first developed or something? Or
It's over 20 years. I can't find the exact year. I'd have to.
well, Google says it was in the 70s. The first inspired role-playing
Well,
games.
there's all kinds of different LARPs, but
Yeah.
I know our specific organization has been, I would say, it's close to around 25 years
Yeah.
that
Wow.
Dave and Ted started it. Well, there was another guy involved too, but then they, whatever that was, stepped down real early, and then these two guys have done all of it. Jericho has their own site up near Fenelon Falls, Ontario.
Nice place to
There's
visit.
a couple other guilds that have their own place. Other ones like us, we rent it's a children's camp, but it's got lots of bush and all that, but we get to sleep in camp, so if we want to. So like I said, I am an Einhir, and my class is Assassin. Being an Einhir, I'm immune to any cold effects, so if somebody throws a spell that's a cold effect, or they try to do some kind of thing to me that's ice or ice, and what's the other one? I forget. I can just say resist because I'm immune. My downside, if I take a death and it's not during a battle, I can suffer 2 deaths.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, so I need to be in battle. If I die in battle, then I want to go to Valhalla. I don't want to be.
Hey, is that heaven?
Yeah, Valhalla's heaven. So my character, since I've been in for a while, my character is now level 13.
Ooh. Nice.
All my armor I wear all together gives me about 14 points of armor. And you get points for each section that's covered. So 2 points here, 2 points there, and it all adds up. Now, when it comes to when you're in a fight and somebody's hitting you, so this is my sword. When somebody's hitting me and they're whatever level they are or whatever skill they have. Maybe they're only hitting for 2 normal. Well, I've got
A lead pipe?
no. It's a latex sword.
Oh,
Don't hurt me.
I was going to say, man,
It's
you're
rubber.
strong.
It's rubber.
Look how strong she's bending metal.
Now, I don't want to bend the tips too badly.
I think she's quiet and nice. Watch out till she takes the sword.
But I have,
for a second there. Holy moly.
I say 44 armor points, give or take, and 21 hit points or body points. So if I'm being attacked, every time I get hit and the person's calling, say 2 normal or 4 magic or whatever, I in my head am subtracting off of my armor points. And then if I go past my armor points, then I have to call breach, and then I go into my body points. When you run out of that stuff, then you go unconscious, or you go down to your bleed count, or your bleed count for 1 minute. If you don't get healed or whatever in your 1 minute, then you go to your death count for 5 minutes. And if you don't get healed or something, then you're taken care of. Then your character dies.
And then you have to create another one?
Then you get 3 deaths.
Gotcha.
And when you die, when your character dies, you go to NPC camp. You speak to whoever's in charge of that, and it's like, okay, I took a death, and they'll let you flip a coin, and depending on the flip of the coin, either you remember your death, or they tell you a death dream, and this is what you believe happened.
Gotcha.
So you get 2 deaths. On your 3rd death, it's called, you finaled. And that happened to my oldest on his 30 event. July, August, September, October, 4th event. He had only had 1 death, and he went to his 4th event, which was All Hallows, which was a Halloween event. And he took 2 deaths that event, and he finaled his character.
Ouch.
My original character was the mother of that character. So I retired that character because storyline, she went off to find his siblings and was never seen again. during his funeral pyre or whatever. So that's in the story thing, and that's what. So then the November I brought in my new character, and this is one I've had since then. And I, knock on wood, I have no deaths on this character. So each time you go to an event, you get so many CP, and I can't remember what CP stands for, but you get so many CP. Mm-hmm. But the higher you get levels, you get less. So my total CP for all the 8 years is like 1432. I've spent 15 of those. I have free like 17, and I use those to buy my different skills. I know it's all.
Steve is chuckling. Steve is laughing at Busby.
So I'll show you my skill briefly, and I'll show you. I have 2 long, or there's your medium swords. They're kind of between a long sword. They changed the length levels. So I have one this one is called silver, and this one is an iron weapon. You have normal, you can have silver, you can have iron, or then you get into magic weapons and legendary weapons and stuff. Right now I have 2 swords, a silver one and a iron one. I have my dagger that's silver. You get normal weapons when you join. It's whatever you find tags, or you have say a blacksmith that makes you a special weapon, or you bought a special weapon off of different. That's how you get the other ones. That's how I got my more advanced things. And then on the one event after Hallows, which is our high winter, which is like Christmasing, you can have a high winter wish, like a Christmas wish. If you get your high winter wish, you can wish for just about anything within reason. Well, I got my high winter wish this year, and I chose to ask for a magic axe. So when I go back to participating fully, I will have a magic weapon. So we're back up here. Must be asked something. Where do I get those weapons? You're ordered online, either Epic Armory or Kalamazoo is where they come for. These ones are Epic Armory ones. Kalamazoo ones are a lot. Actually, I think my dagger might be. Ooh!
I'm here to offer you an ice cream sandwich.
Ice cream?
Yes, please, and thank you.
They got labels. This one's cotton candy. We got.
I think I'll go with this one because I had the chocolate one last time.
I think that's the white chocolate.
No, that's okay.
There you go. Ooh. You also got his pup cup and his picture taken on it.
This one's Kalamazoo, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. My dagger is Kalamazoo. It's a little bit more durable than the Epic Armory ones, but the bigger swords of Kalamazoo have a little bit more weight to them.
How much does your whole ensemble weigh?
I don't know. When I get it all done, I will weigh myself with all the stuff on.
Do you have a picture of yourself with it all on?
Not my updated stuff. I'm working on some new parts. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, have we seen that picture? Look.
The one that's
looked like a ninja.
That's my assassin.
Okay.
But that one, she just had a thing over her head. The reason I made the hood is because I want armor to protect my head, and I'm making like a skull cap, but I want it covered with a hood so they really don't know it's there.
Oh, smart.
So how much to hire you out for a kill?
Not that kind of kill.
Oh, okay.
She will assassin the ice cream sandwich, I promise.
I love that. That's perfect.
LARP is as expensive as you want it to be.
Okay.
So, people.
When my oldest went to their first LARP, he went to Value Village, bought a pair of track pants. He bought an oversized
He's very curious with the camera.
He bought an oversized, like a polo shirt that was just a plain beige one, but it was like an extra large. So it looked more like a tunic, and took the buttons off and just kind of put lacing in the front.
Nice.
And then had ordered a leather vest, plain brown leather vest off of Epic Armory. And I think that's pretty much all he wore, and he had a sword. Now, if you go to Belly Buttons, you can do that. And you start off with just the basics, and you work your way up, and you add things that you want. A lot of people don't start with a latex weapon like this.
Okay.
So it's thinking, because when you like said steampunk and stuff, like back in the day when it was steampunk and stuff, you know, they would just take whatever they have and then put it to themselves just the same way.
Within the reason, because ours, like, we don't allow jeans. We don't want you to wear, your Jordans that are red and white and with all these fancy things on it. If you have to wear a pair of running shoes, like plain black or nothing that has logos, like we try to keep it as immersive as possible.
Shoe covers.
And then, like, if you can't afford a latex weapon, because I'll be honest with you, these things are like $100.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a fiberglass core. It's made so there's foam on the end. So if I'm hitting somebody, I don't want to hurt them. People make what's called bopper weapons. I don't have one here, but they're usually 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and then you take a couple layers of the pipe insulation and there's certain parameters how you have to design them, and then they're covered with duct tape. Now the duct tape on them has to run lengthwise, because if you wrap it around, then it becomes compact. So this lengthwise, so it has, and this is when I go through my things. You ready to come up, sir? No, you're gonna stay down there till after? Okay. So I'll go through my skills. I have ambidexterity and Florentine, which means I can wield 2 swords at the same time. There's a flurry of blows, which means I can add +5 damage to my swings for 3 swings. I have one that's called self-mutilate, which means I can willingly take body damage. Say if I got webbed by a spider, that way somebody can pull me out of the spider web, or my so-called tent was on fire, I can be saved from that. Or if a doctor or a physician character needed to do surgery on me, I can willingly have surgery done. Things like that. My weapons are medium.
Sorry.
My weapons are medium.
Sorry.
Stop. Let her finish her sentence.
Sorry.
Yes. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, is there prearranged dialogue? Like, do you guys have prearranged?
Nope.
Okay.
The only thing that might be like, say the plot person might have a little speech in his head, but that goes in as okay, you are here. This is what's happening. This is what you see, because we were in a Legion in the one, and it's like, okay, you see for miles, you see trees, and there's some big ones, and there's this here, and there's that over there, and then okay, this is what's could happen there. 3, 2, 1, lay on, and also there's monsters coming out from the trees and stuff. But I have minor medium weapons. And like I said, every time we go, we get blankets, and we can use those blankets counted so many points, and you can use those points to buy different skills. So I have bought 5 levels of critical for my medium weapon, which when I go back, I only swing 4 from the front. But if I sneak up from the back, I can do 12 damage.
Ooh.
So if somebody's only got 50 armor points, or say the NPC, whatever the creature is, only has 50 armor points, give me a few swings and I've already reached the armor and got into.
Yeah, the first blow, that's like one That's a fourth of their points. Like, wow.
I've taken dodge. I've got 2 dodges, which allows me to dodge almost any attack except surprise attacks, and there's a couple other that. But if somebody throws a spell at me, even if it's a death spell, I can dodge it. I can go say dodge. But I only get 2 of those per day, so I have 3 saps per day. And what a sap is I could sneak up behind a person. This is supposed to be a fist wrap because I'm not going to use my fist, and I smack them in between the shoulders. And that, as long as they don't have some kind of special magic armor or they have a helmet on, it's literally I'm knocking them out for 10 minutes unless they get healed. A fist wrap is always with red tape. I just put a little black around the end because I have a little quiver for mine, and that way it doesn't give away that there's a fist wrap in there. It's black.
Michael Ann.
Yes.
Lesby asked, what is the age of the oldest person in your LARP guild?
In mine, at Rowland Wood, I'd probably say me.
So they're not old. There you go.
Nope. I would say most are mid-20s to mid-late 30s. You've seen in the video there was a man with a silver helmet with the Viking horns. He came out in the first year or 2. He's the father of one of our other players. At the time of that picture, he was 70 years old.
Wow.
I was in my early 50s. He's 70, and there was another girl. Her mom came out, and she was probably around my age too, because she only came out once. So it depends on what kind of role you want to do. If you want to do, say, a mage, and a mage is going to cast spells. So for casting spells, if you're close, you can certain spells you can touch a person, or we use spell packets. And all this is a piece of cotton with about 2 tablespoons of birdseed in there, tied up with a cotton string or sometimes elastic. A lot of these get thrown. Like my oldest is a Templar, which you can cast spells. So you're throwing this at somebody. You want it big enough so it's not going to hit, so it doesn't go into the eye socket. They're soft. They not supposed to hurt.
Beanbag almost.
The fact it's filled with birdseed is so many of these get thrown, and we try to pick them all up. But if we miss them, then the birds and the squirrels and all that take care of them.
Biodegradable.
Yeah.
Okay, question. How do you if like you're saying that if you come up behind somebody you can do like 15 damage. Who dictates the damage, and how does it get recorded? Like a referee, or
it's on an honor system. However,
okay.
However, you'll notice in pictures or videos I do. Where the heck did it go now? There will be people with either white headbands or white hat on. Oh, there it is. They'll have white headbands around their head, or they'll have a white hat on.
Yeah.
White in our game signifies out of game. So if a person has a white hat or white headband on, they're not in game. They're we call them the wind or whatever. You don't see them. They're not there. Same as if you have, say, a bag or purse or whatever you're keeping your medication in or stuff like that, your wallet or whatever, in your tent or whatever. If you put a white band on it, or mine's a little white backpack, that's out of game. Nobody's allowed to touch that.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's smart.
That's smart because usually you guys are wearing dark colors too. Makes sense.
But during a mod, you'll see 2 or 3 people wandering around with white headbands, and they're marshaling that. So they're keeping an eye that everybody's kind of playing on their honor. Like that guy's taken, like, say I've hit that guy like 15 times at 12 points apiece from behind, and he doesn't appear to have a lot of armor on. How is that he hasn't gone down yet?
Oh, so you have to actually like go down on the floor, like act. There's some acting involved in this.
Well, you can play as dead as much as you want. If you're not able to get all the way down, they ask you like to take a knee, or you put when you're at a game. If you want to ask a question, so you have to go at a game, or if you're dead and you can't physically get down, you put your hand on your head and you're at a game.
Gotcha.
Like if I wanted to ask you a question about some kind of ruling, it's like, what does that mean? And then they'll answer your question there.
So everybody knows the universal systems.
Yeah. Oops. Now it's like, well, what do we get? How do we get things? Well, when we kill one of those monsters, paper clip. We kill one of those monsters. They either drop tags or they drop coin. And Underworld has their own sort of minted coin.
Coins.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Question: can I use it at Canadian Tire?
No.
Oh, darn.
There's silver coins, and then on one side it has the Underworld logo, and I'll show you. And then
It's on big screen, my clan. Let me disappear for a second. We got to see this. People are watching on their little phones.
Right. That's not. This is on solo. So this is a silver coin,
Oh, cool.
and it's got that one has.
You mean you didn't show Steve a coin when you're in the car?
No,
I collect coins.
the silver coin has a dragon on that side, and then it has the Underworld logo on the other side.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And the gold one has an angel on the one side, and then the Underworld logo on the other side. And I made kind of the logo on my photo album, and it's basically it's a black triangle with the blood red rose on it.
Gotcha. That is so cool.
When those characters die, oops, take myself out of here.
It's okay, we're paying attention. I'm paying attention.
When the characters die, they'll drop tags. Those tags might have armor, they might have spells, they might have weapon stuff, they might have some weird. I got these ones are gem tags. I have some that are just creepy things like rat on a stick.
Oh, well, those are Troy's. He's left those in the basement once.
Or a necklace of ears. Or a necklace of ears.
I just had a thought that if there was a couple there that was girlfriend boyfriend and the boyfriend happened to die, he could drop like "Will you marry me?" on the thing. his potential girlfriend pick it up. I kind of just
you
thought
have to
of
make
that.
sure she's the one picking it up.
Well, yeah.
That's another thing. When you die, you drop everything you have, whether it's be your tags, coin you have on you, your weapons. I purchased one of the skills called Cold Dead Hands. And with Cold Dead Hands, I don't drop my weapons or stuff if I'm knocked unconscious or in my bleed or death count. So that was worth the thing. So it's like, because if you drop your weapon and another player comes along, they could steal your weapon. After bring it to NPC camp, they can turn the weapon in or they can give it to you, but they keep the tag. So unless you have a new tag for another silver sword or normal sword, then you've lost that tag. Now, what other things I got? Sap. I have 5 levels of looting, so if you're going to loot a character in that, it's a 60 count, 60 seconds. For each level of looting, it takes 10 seconds off, so it only takes me 10 seconds to loot a thing. Einheers have a Berserker Rage, and they count to Berserk 1, Berserk 2, Berserk 3, up to, I think it's 10. I haven't used it. And you get +1 body and +1 strength, so my body points are 21 for 10 minutes, I'm 26 body. So, and I got strength bonus, so I got Cold Dead Hands. I don't know, the last thing I was going to talk about, our swings are light to medium touch. So you don't do a baseball swing. You do like a 45 to 100, 45 to 90 degree thing when you pull back like 90 degrees at the most.
Yeah.
It's light touch. You don't need. I can feel that, and I'm not hitting hard. But we don't hit the same spot. Like you hit the upper arm, the lower arm, the leg. If somebody's doing this in one spot, we call that machine gunning. It's like, there's no hit zones, which is the head, the neck, and the groin.
Well, that makes sense.
The player doesn't have to accept damage in those areas. We ask that please don't hit the ladies in the chest, but it does happen. But you have most people have armor on, whether it's leather, studded leather, which I wear, chainmail, or plate.
Ooh, you gotta wear something on chainmail. That's gonna be cool.
My oldest, I made a gambeson, which is like a padded vest thing that goes underneath, which you don't have the cold chainmail against you. It also lifts. It also takes some of the weight of the chainmail off your. Because he used to get, you can see like almost a little bruising when he was just wearing the chainmail over his light shirt, and then
chainmail isn't light.
No, he also wears a belt that kind of lifts some of the weight up. And then I already said that the packets are thrown, and there's different colored packets. There, for some different kind of magic, there is orange packs as well.
Perfect.
And I think that's everything. Geez, that took almost the whole time.
But it's fun. It was interesting.
Any more questions? Hi, Steve. I didn't see you come in there.
Steve, say hi to Steve.
Hi, Steve from Steve.
Steve in Arizona.
I'm not in Arizona.
Oh, that's you're saying hi.
Hi, Steve in Arizona.
Yeah.
I think I covered anything and everything. I sorry I took up so much time for chatting, but
question: during your LARP, is it usually during a specific, like era, like 1700s or 1500s, or is it pretty much
being the horror medieval fantasy? But ours is set in the LARP year is 22. It's weird because the date, the year is actually in the future. It's like 2250 something.
cool?
Ugh. I'll do all that stuff on made me warm. So I'm going to be dropping another, probably either a LARP video or a LARP short tonight. After bees.
When I talk to Michael Ann, sometimes we talk a little bit, and I watch it in a little thing with her, and I'm like, that is so cool.
But I will put the underworldlarp.com, like the core rule book, all kinds of stuff, information on Underworld LARP is in there. You can click on a specific guild. Like I said, there's only one in the States, and for a person to own a guild, they have to put either a hobby or a small business, but they have to put a financial amount into it, and they have to run it by global rules. But there's a lot of details. My favorite thing about LARP, just going out and playing pretend and spending time with my adult children, because all three of them are involved. My youngest not so much. He goes about once, maybe twice a year. But my adopted son and my oldest have been doing it since. Well, they wanted to start. We've met people at a Comic-Con thing in Hamilton the year before my adopted one turned 18. So he wasn't able to go until the next year to go. But the closest one was the Toronto Guild. Their camp was 7 hours away. And then we went to a local pop culture show here. And the people had come that were starting the one in London, so which was an hour away from us. So they joined that summer, and we LARP almost year round. There was a hiccup there during the pandemic, but And then going back, we had to have specific rules. We had to wear masks inside, and we had to sanitize everything. That was my job when we first went back. I was, as the NPC non-player characters came in with the weapons they used or the costuming they used, I was spraying it down with alcohol or wiping it with alcohol wipes just to sanitize it to hopefully not spread.
Wow.
But out of the events that I know of, I think we've only had maybe half a dozen or less people that have tested positive after the weekend. In the last, year and a half we've been back. Anywho, we're gonna
Pretty good.
head over.
Michael,
Do we have your link in there?
Michael, what happens when? Yeah, I dropped it. You just have to pin it, and you're good.
I just lost my.
Do me a favor. Pretend you took 12 points of me. What would you do?
She's gonna go. Poof. That's not what I wanted to do. Pin the message. There we go. I'm back over the StreamYard. So her link is pinned to the top. If you guys have more questions, you can ask me. Maybe I'll do a pop-up live sometime between now and next week. I don't know. But I will catch you over at V's. Everybody have a good week. And, like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to give up my hours and my subscribers. So thanks for coming. Love you all. Bye for now.